Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah الذي ألف بالإسلام بين قلوب المؤمنين وأوجب الاتحاد وحرم التفرق في كتابه المبين. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله هدى من يشاء إلى صراط مستقيم وأشهد أن سيدنا محمد رسول الله خير داع إلى طريق القويم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه الذين تهذبت نفوسهم وتهذبت قلوبهم فكانوا سادة المنصورين. أما بعد، فيا عباد الله أوصيكم ونفسي أولا بتقوى الله تعالى وطاعته. That is, all praise is due to Allah who has united the hearts of the believer in Islam and has made it an obligation to remain united and has made it forbidden to become separated in his clear book. I bear witness that there is nothing worthy of worship except Allah, who guides to the straight path whom he wills, and I bear witness that our leader Muhammad is his messenger and the best caller to the way that is straight. O Allah, send your prayers and your peace upon our leader Muhammad and upon his family and upon his companions, whose hearts were united and whose souls were educated, so that they became victorious leaders. And what follows thereafter, O believers of Allah, I advise you as well as I advise myself, to first have the proper regard for Allah and thereafter be obedient to him. Dear believers, I greet you with the universal greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be with you. Dear believers, we find ourselves at the attribute of Allah of Al-Hakeem, which means the wise. And Allah says in the Quran, verily, he knows whatever it is that you call upon besides him, for he is exalted in power, the wise, Al-Hakeem. In this verse, Allah is saying that he knows of the things that you call upon besides him. He knows the things that you look to for strength besides him. He knows who you go to, what it is that you focus your attention on besides him. And right now, we are finishing up, we are closing out. We've just closed out this month of suicide awareness, where the Army focuses on suicide awareness. And so we want to take the skills or some of the things that we've picked up from this month, and we want to apply it today. We want to apply it to this concept of Allah being the wise, Allah knowing of the things that you turn to besides him. For many of us, we turn to others, we turn to our own self-identity that may be rooted in something outside of being Muslim. We let those things be what drive us. We let those things be the things that we put all of our hope, all of our effort, all of our energy into. We call on these things. We call on our boss. We call on our peers to give us strength, to get us through the tough times, to get us through the hard times. Maybe we call on the money that we've been able to accumulate. Well, maybe if I can purchase some things, that'll satisfy me, that'll soothe my heart, that'll take this pain away. But Allah says that he knows everything that you call upon besides him. So when during this month, and as you've gone through these trainings, these suicide awareness trainings, and you've looked at what this one reason is, what is this thing that so many people, the conclusion that they come to, the conclusion that is reached regarding why people develop suicidal ideations, or why people take their life, or why people attempt to take their life. And it all gets back to this idea of purpose. This all gets back to this idea of having something to turn to, having something to work towards, having something to strive for. And one of the main leading causes that 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 people commit suicide or have suicidal ideations is because of the breaking up of a relationship. Relationships begin to fall apart. Maybe it fell apart because the person cheated, maybe because it just wasn't meant to be, maybe it was finances, whatever it was in this traditional sense of relationship of two people that are together as Muslims, we know as a husband and a wife are together. Um, this is what is seen as a relationship. So maybe that fell apart. And so that begins to be the reason that this idea of of uh, of suicidal ideations, and not just because of that specific relationship, but because of the identity that I have established, who I am in this relationship: the husband, the father, the provider, the mother, the daughter, the wife, the caretaker. This identity that I've established for myself inside of this relationship, and when it's broken, I'm broken. We say that someone is our better half. So we say that a piece of us is missing. We look at it as this relationship is falling apart. And this was half of my religion. So now half of my religion is gone. So we begin to feel bad and feel turn in on ourselves and get upset with the fact that we no longer have this relationship. We no longer have this identity because I put my whole life into it. I gave you the best years of my life. I gave you all this time. I sacrificed so much. I sacrificed opportunities. I sacrificed chances with other people to be with you. And this is what it turned into. And now we're separated. I put all my focus on you. My purpose was to make sure that I had a good marriage, to make sure that the marriage that I established was something that people would look at and my kids would look at and would be proud of. I put everything that I had. I turned to you when I was hurting. I turned to you when I was sad. I turned to you when I needed help. And now you're gone and I have nothing. Allah says He knows of anything, whatever it is besides Him that you call upon, that you turn to. Because He is Al-Hakeem. He is the wise. He knows what it is that you do. He knows how you spent that time. So then there's this idea of this identity. I've spent my time being a soldier. I've done what was necessary to be a soldier. I got my military education that I needed. I did my physical fitness. I worked so hard to build up my body to become strong. I invested time in myself. My purpose was to get another rank. I wanted to climb higher and higher up this structure. So I turned to mentors. So I turned to other leaders, I turned to peers, I turned to doctrine to increase my knowledge, to improve me. My purpose was to just raise higher and higher in these ranks. I turned to the professionals that were around to assist me. I turned to all these people because I needed them to support me. I need them to give me what I needed so that I could raise in these ranks and I can establish a higher sense of self based on this identity of who I am as a soldier. Regardless of your MOS, whether you're a chaplain, whether you're an engineer, whether you're an infantryman, whether you're an infantry officer, I turn to all these people. I turn to all these man-made things, all these doctrines written by man. I turn to the equipment produced by man to build me up. I learned all these things to build me up, and it gave me a purpose to rise higher, to move further. I did all these things. I invested my time in it. I turned to it. Every waking moment of my life, I lived it, I breathed it, I bleed green, all these things that I did. Allah says that He knows whatever it is besides Him that they turn to. These things, they gave me purpose. These things, they gave me identity. These things, they gave me comfort. But what I didn't focus on, or what I didn't realize, was that, as the verse says in Surah Rahman, everything on the earth shall perish, but the face of Allah will remain. Everything. So not just the buildings, not just the trees, not just the grass. We know that people are passing away every day. So here it is. Here it is. I established my purpose. I made my purpose. I put all my energy into my relationship. I gave none of my time to God. I turned to my spouse. And everything that I did was for them. I did nothing for God. I did nothing to improve that relationship. I focused on this relationship and I lost it. It may have been a relationship with a parent that passed away, and all I did was live to please them. My spouse may have left me. All I did was live to please them. But it wasn't enough, because I did not have the power. I was not exalted in power as my creator to keep them alive or to keep them with me forever. As long as I needed them, I couldn't do that. I may have gone through all this time and increased myself in the military and worked hard, and then came time for retirement. Or maybe I got an injury. Maybe something happened and now I'm getting put out. Now I'm losing this identity. I no longer have everything that is attached to me putting on this uniform. I'm alone now. That was my purpose. I invested my entire life into it. And now I'm in a dark place. Now I'm in this place that my purpose is gone. I'm in this place that everything that I put my life into, everything that I put my heart and my soul into is gone. That relationship is gone. It is broken away from me. The one I used to turn to for help is no longer there. The one I used to call on the phone every night is no longer there. Those people that were with me in my darkest times, in my hardest time working through the military, through my different assignments, they're no longer there because I'm no longer there. That relationship is torn up. And now I'm in a dark place. Now I'm thinking of, I don't have anything else to live for. I don't have anything else to push forward for. Allah says, verily, Allah knows whatever it is, everything that you turn to besides Him, because He is exalted in power, the wise. Allah knows this. Allah knows this, dear believers. أقول هذا استغفر الله لكم والحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. So, dear believers, Allah says, verily Allah knows whatever it is that you turn to, or whoever it is you turn to besides Him, He is exalted in power, the wise. And so, from our discussion in the first portion, it was this idea of purpose. The things that I give my purpose to, the things that I give my time to, the relationships that I build, the relationships that I give the most attention to. It's not saying that that don't go out and put your efforts into your marriage. It's not saying don't go out and don't put your efforts into your military career or to whatever your occupation is. It's not saying that. It's just that you need to be aware of the relationship that you are focusing the most on. What type of effort are you putting into the relationship with your creator? What kind of time are you putting into the relationship with your creator? Is the relationship with your spouse more important than the one who gave you life? Is your relationship to your identity that's associated with your career, with your military service, more important than the one who gives you breath every day that you could show up to work? Which relationship is more important? Which relationship is more lasting? Now we know that there is great benefit in seeking help and seeking assistance from those medical professionals or those people that are here to assist, who've gotten education to assist you. But as Muslims, we know that from Allah we come, and to Allah we shall return. So that relationship is long lasting. That purpose should be focused on pleasing our Creator. And as we seek to please our Creator and we're living in a way that is in accordance with His will, we'll find that I'm a better spouse. I'm a better husband. I'm a better wife to my spouse. I'm a better parent to my kid because my relationship with my Creator is right. I'm focusing on pleasing my Creator, and my family gets the benefits of that. My family gets the blessings from that. They get to see me living properly, see me as an upright individual. And when I look at my career and I see this as a positive thing, but I know that my purpose is to please my Creator, then what others will see of me is a person with integrity, a person with discipline, because I'm doing what is necessary to please my Creator on a daily basis. So I'm not cheating, I'm not lying, I'm not falsifying things. I'm consistent with my prayers, I'm consistent in my actions. I have the best character because I'm Muslim. And my purpose is to please my Creator. So in turn, that makes people see that this is a good soldier. This is somebody that I want on my team because they are hardworking. That is a residual benefit of my purpose being to please my Creator. So this, dear believers, it's not the solution. It is a solution. It is one way to find a way to improve ourselves, to help ourselves when we get into these dark places, to do a risk assessment before we get into these situations is before I pour everything into this relationship here with my job, with my spouse, what is my relationship with my Creator like? What is my purpose in my relationship with my Creator? And if I can see that I'm fully invested, if I'm giving my time, if I'm giving my energy, I'm giving my hope into my Creator, if I'm turning to my Creator for the things that I need, then I know that all those other things will move as they should. And it's not going to always be rainbows and sunshine, dear believers. Don't ever think that for a minute. But just know that when it gets dark, when it becomes cloudy, when all these pressures start to fall on you, you'll have that relationship with their Creator that's going to get you through it. So Allah says, verily, Allah knows whatever it is that you turn to besides Him, because he is exalted in power, the wise. Allah is the wise. He knows what's going to get you out of that dark place. Allah is the wise. He has put in creation for you what you need to be successful. Allah is Al-Hakeem. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم إن الصلاة والنسك ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين لا شريك له بذلك أمرت وأنا أول المسلمين الحمد لله رب العالمين آمين